welcome to our Tuesday morning beginner workout. I am Dave. Today we're going to be going through core and cardio. We have 3 groups, 4 exercises, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. We'll be doing 3 rounds and everything. I don't have that noted there. We'll start with some arm swing just as a warm-up. As we come, I open my arms up with my palms up, and then cross my arms down, palms down. And this is a beginner level workout, so I'm going to be going at that intensity, but I will show you a couple of modifications if you want to make things a little bit more challenging. And then we're going to go into our swimmer, so I'm hinging at the hips, and I'm swimming forward. Step out of that light there. Step over on this side here. And we'll go backwards. We'll go into our lunge and twist. Still not much of a lunge. I'm stepping forward, and then I'm twisting to that same side. Stepping forward, twisting to that same side. You can add a little bit of speed to this if you'd like. Hope everyone's keeping cool. These last few days have been quite hot. We'll hinge from our hips. Crawl down. And as you stand up, I'm pulling back on those left fingers. Arms are coming overhead. Pushing my hips to the right, leaning to the left. And hips to the left and lean to the right. We're going to end up doing this 3 more times, each time doing something different with the hands. So this time I'm pulling back on my right fingers, but this part stays the same. Hips to the right, lean to the left. Hips to the left, lean to the right. Alright? 2 more. This time, I'm pushing down on my left wrist, just like so. And then my arms are going overhead. It's the same thing. Slowing and dance there. And last one. Pull back. And then we'll just finish off with our side little jog here. I take the impact out, maybe you're just stepping and kicking, and then maybe we want to add our little jumping jack in there. Alright, so 3 groups, 4 exercises. Here is your first group. We have our dead bugs, which are on the ground. Legs at 90-90, arm straight up, extend opposite arm, opposite leg. If you need to make these a little easier on yourself, just try to touch your heel to the ground from this 90-90 position, but still extend your arm. If you want to make it harder, extend into those V's, alright? The legs will be straight and you'll be extending both arms and both legs at the same time. Our high knees, we're just going to be stepping, alternate arm, alternate leg. If you want to make it harder, right, we're just picking up the intensity. Bird dogs on all 4s, and it's just the opposite of the dead bug. Going opposite arm, opposite leg. If you want to make it a little harder, you can make it a bird dog crunch. So you touch knee to elbow and you extend. If you want to make it even harder, you go same side arm, same side leg out, and you can't even crunch off that and go out. But that's a real difficult one without tilting or leaning. And then lastly is our butt kicks. So all we're doing is stepping into that butt kick. And when I do this, whatever leg's kicking my butt, that's the arm that's coming up. Alright? Without further ado, we'll start with our dead bugs. In 3, 2, and 1. Hopefully that works. Did. Perfect. 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You'll notice the first two groups and the first two exercises in this group, resting for 10 enough to pretty much stand up, are the front side, and then the next two exercises in the group are the posterior side. And we're stepping with those high knees, opposite arm, opposite leg. And you know, just because we're beginners doesn't mean we can't pick up the pace a little bit. You know, after all, it is a cardio workout. 3, 2, and 1. Bird dogs, pretty much, like I said, the opposite of that dead bug. And we're going opposite arm, opposite leg. And if you want to add the crunch, you're more than welcome to, but it is not completely necessary. Feet. Finishing round 1 off with our butt kicks. There we go. Don't know what happened there to me, but again, just because we're beginners, I don't have any impact here, you know, besides my normal stepping, but that doesn't mean I can't still pick up the pace. All right. That's round 1. We'll get on the ground for our dead bugs. Big trick with dead bugs is that I stop just before the ground. I don't try to touch the ground. Five to go. Using that core to stabilize. We're on our feet. Arching. We're doing our high knees as high as we can go. Keeping that rhythm with the arms going. Yeah, if you want to add a little bit more difficulty, we can be picking up that intensity. You could be stepping onto something and do a step-up fashion. Okay. Bird dogs. All the way till 4:30. If you want to see what that crunch looks like, I'll show it again on this side if you can see it better. I touch my knee to my elbow, and I extend again. You can do the same side as well, which is a little bit more challenging. When we do the same side, you don't want to wobble a lot. Like you'll notice when I'm doing these, it's pretty stable. When I do the same side, I tend to lean a little bit. You don't want that leaning. Okay, we're on our feet. Into our butt kicks. Do that every time. It's not right, but I do it every time. Really contract those hamstrings as we step again. You can pick up the pace if you want, but not necessary at all. For today's intentions. It's just to get that heart rate elevated a little bit, and we can do that. All right. Round 3, final round. You'll even notice by design this first round is to make you get up and get on the ground a lot and stand up. We're into our Deadbugs. And that's going to get your heart rate elevated. And I don't need you sweating, huffing and puffing, wanting to die, losing your breakfast. We don't need that to achieve a super effective cardio workout. Even elevating, your heart rate up to 120, 130 for the 30 minutes. Even 110, 115 if you're resting rather low. I think I might have gone over here. We'll stop there. Even if you elevated that for the 20, 30 minutes, you're in good shape there. All right, high knees. Not every workout has to have you sweating, dying. It's if you were to do this sort of style where your heart rate's getting to 120, 130 for 30 minutes every day, I would much prefer that than somebody who pushes themselves once every 2 weeks and falls off because it's too hard and they don't like it. All right, into our bird dogs. Some of these exercises, like the bird dog, you might not feel that burn in your abs, and that's because this exercise, the bird dog, is a little less of the front side of the core and more the back side, so your rectus spinae, gradus laborum, all these things that help you stabilize in the back. Even with Deadbugs, you might not be feeling, but you really need to use your core to make sure you're not rotating. I call it, like, those two exercises to me are much more functional core exercises than a lot of core exercises. Okay, we're into our butt kicks. Why I really like the butt kicks and the high knees as well, we're almost finished here, is because they get you moving past normal walking range of motion for your legs. Okay, so we'll stop that time. We'll go to group 2. We have our leg raises here. And I'm just going to get you guys to join me just because I want to stay on time here. So round 1, we'll be learning as we go along. Our leg raises, starting now, is we're just lifting our legs up. The more bent your knees are, the easier it is. So if my knees are bent right here, I try not to touch the ground. That's a little easier. So almost reverse crunch, find out here. A little bit harder. If I'm advanced, I'm pointing my toes out and my legs are straight. And I'm going from there. And that's the most advanced. So again, this one's really easy to adjust your level just based on how bent your knees are. Our side shuffle. We're on our feet. We're staying square to the whatever direction we're facing, and we're just shuffling. You can add some speed into it. You can add a hop into it. You can add a touch onto the ground if you want to make it a little harder. But, for the sake of today, you could just be going at this speed. Don't need to be busting a gut, right? We could just be trying to keep our heart rate elevated the whole time. All right, our plank shoulder tap might be one of the harder exercises in this group. And we're just in a high plank position, touching opposite shoulder The big thing with this is, again, you notice my hips are wobbling for this. I don't have to shift my weight from my hips. And if I want to make it a little easier on myself, I'm just going into that modified plank position. And why I really love the modified plank position is at any point in time, that's easy to switch, right? Not too hard at all. All right, our forward shuffle is just the same as the side shuffle. We're always going to stay square to the front of the room, but we're just going to be moving front and back. So I take a few steps forwards, I take a few steps backwards. And that's, you know, you don't need to be doing the big sprint or whatever. You could just be stepping, or you could be adding that speed. You know, whatever you prefer there. Just try to keep the arms moving when you're stepping. Okay, we're on the ground for round 2 with our leg raises. Okay, the more bent your knees are, the harder it is. Try to press your hands into the ground and the side to keep you stable. Again, I try not to touch the ground. If I ever need to make it a little easier, I like to just bench a little bit. I'm almost doing a reverse crunch instead. If you need to make it even easier than that, just step one at a time. Okay, you don't even need to have the legs leave the ground. You're still working your core there. That's just the beginner modification. All right, or the extremely beginner modification, which is fine. Side shuffle, and I'm just staying square. Now, exercises like this are perfect on those hot days where you don't really want to overexert yourself. You just sort of want to get a little bit of movement in your day. Okay, plank shoulder tap. Another way you can make plank shoulder taps a little easier, or modified so that you might be able to do them, is we just go on the incline, right? And this incline here, not too steep. A wall would be even easier than this, but you can bring your legs out further. And my hands aren't necessarily under my shoulders anymore, which is okay. They're not in a position where I'm hyperextending them to stay on to this couch or this position. And this makes it so you don't need to get on the ground either, but our other exercises that are leg raise, you certainly do. All right, 440 to 510. We have our forward shuffle, and again, we're trying to get the arms moving. And you can see here, I'm not running anymore, but I'm putting a little bit more intensity into it. And all I'm doing to do that is I'm just taking larger steps with getting that knee up a little higher, and I'm still making sure I land softly. And that's a way where you can add, a little bit of intensity, but if you're still worried about that impact, then you can take it out there. Okay, round 3, leg raises, we're on the ground. You can make these even harder too if you go one at a time, if you want, or again, it could be from this level, it could be from this level, or that level, right? I only took 10 seconds there, even stepping like this, right? All ways that you can engage those same muscles. Side shuffle until 6:30. And you can make these slightly harder if you just take slightly larger steps, Or slightly easier if you just take smaller steps, right? Plenty of ways you can modify your workout on the go. Okay, we have our plank shoulder tap next. And really try to watch the sway in the hips, so we're going until 7-10. And at any point, you want to just take a break and hold that high plank because you want to stay in this position, but you don't want to do the shoulder tap. You can certainly do that. I won't be offended there. Okay. Last exercise for group 2, round 3. We have our forward shuffle, 720 to 750. Oh, there we go. Like I said, at any point you want to change your intensity, that's how you can modify this exercise. Not every exercise you need to change drastically to modify it. Sometimes it's just intensity. Okay. For group 3, we'll do the same thing. We'll just sort of explain the exercises as we go through round 1. We have our left side plank, modified burpee, right side plank, shadow skip. So our left side plank will be on our left side. You can go from the feet or from the knees. I'll show you both. We're going in 3, 2, and 1. My elbows under my shoulders. I just lift my hips off the ground, knees as well. If I'm going for more of a beginner route, I'm going for my knees here and just holding my hips up. And this is the one that I'll be demonstrating the most throughout, but if you want to hold that full side plank, go ahead. But I'm just going for my knees here. My hips are off the ground. I could certainly, push myself to do a little bit harder, but this still works. All right, our modified burpee. We'll start on the 40. I'll show you one here. We're just going to reach up. We're coming down, leg out, leg out, leg in, stand up. This is the hardest one. You guys can join me now. Up, down, leg out, leg out, leg in, stand up. Probably have one more in us. Leg in, stand up. And just because we don't have the time, we're just going to touch the ground, reach up. All right, right side plank. It's the same as the left side. You're just doing the right side. As mind-blowing as that is. I'm just going from the knees. I'm staying nice and open. Lifting my hips up off the ground. More seconds. Again, if you want to make it more difficult, we're just going from the feet instead, holding that up. And again, that's the nice thing is you can drop in and out of the modification at any point because you're not going to lose that time under tension in those obliques. So our shadow skip is we're just pretending we have that jumping rope and we're skipping. And you can skip however you like. You could be hopping. It could be maybe going out to the side instead. Whatever you want there. You could even be stepping, right? You want to take out that impact. Whatever is best for you to make your workout your own. You can go backwards when you skip, right? All right, that's round 1. If you want to ever add something to these, you can always do your arm raises. I only start to add things though once my form is perfect. You know, I don't want you to, your form to start to collapse because you're doing these arm raises. The arm raises aren't the important part. The side obliques are the important part. Okay. We're into our modified burpee. If you need something a little bit easier, you could just be going ceiling, hips, knees, ankles, ceiling. If you need something harder, you could be doing your full burpee. But if you want to do what we have for today's workout, it's just a modified burpee. We're taking out all the impact, and we're still going up and down. I think we got one more in us. Hurry this one up. Okay. We have a right side plank for 410 to 440. I think I gave you an extra 10 seconds somewhere, whether it was rest or work, but we're still moving. 410 to 440. We're in this right side plank. Again, modified or full. Like I was saying before, it's really nice because, the time under tension is there the whole time, no matter where I am in this, right? I never really give myself a break. I just make it a little easier going from this full to the side plank, and I'm sweating dearly and sliding all over the place. Okay. And then our shadow skip to close out round 2. All the way till 520. We're going on that. Whatever you want to skip, right? I'm just doing a light little jog almost. You could be doing a hop. You could be stepping. You could be putting the rope backwards instead. Whatever you want. Be on side to side instead. Really wouldn't work with a real jump rope, but you have that option. All right, left side plank from 5:30 until 6 minutes. Hips are up. Try to get those hips up nice and high. Stay open though, don't collapse, but don't end up opening, overextending. 10 more seconds. This is the last round. Finish strong. Doing great. 2 and 1. Modified burpee. 610 till 640. I don't have my water with me today, but at any point that you need to drink, I know it's a little late to be saying this, but grab some water, take breaks when you need to, and really stay hydrated on these hot days. Got one more here. Stand up, and then just because we have time, touch the ground all the way up. Okay, 650 to 720. We have our right side plank. So when you see me do this, I'm helping stabilize myself. I don't really do this. I'm helping stabilizing myself. This is cheating a little bit, but if you're in this position and you're starting to tire out, you feel like your form's slipping, this is where I want you to go. Instead of, instead of collapsing or having bad form there. All right. Then we have our shadow skip from 7:30 to 8 minutes to close this out. Again, any way that you want to skip here, you can skip. A few more seconds. Now, if you have a Bosu ball, one of those sort of half exercise balls, this is a great exercise to step on it to do. Same with your high knees and your butt kicks. All those things, because they'll eliminate the impact. Alright, so we are done there. We'll go to the ground. We're a little bit over time here. That's okay. We're going to the ground. We'll stretch quickly. I'm just going to go into that good morning stretch with my arms in a Y. Couple deep breaths. We'll take our left leg, cross it over our right. Left hand through the hole, right hand on the outside. Pull the right knee towards the chest. Switch sides. That was a beginner workout, as you probably would have guessed by the way I was speaking and the way I was moving. That doesn't mean that's not an effective workout. I'm sure if you're joining me on the stretches and you finish, you're feeling a little sweaty. The heart rate certainly got elevated, because I know mine did. And I'm not, a beginner exerciser, as you might expect. We're going into our child's pose. So tabletop position, and then I'm just pushing my hips back into my heels, stepping forward. That's stepping forward, reaching forward. If you can step forward from this position, you're in good shape. And we'll go cat to cow. Tucking my chin, stretching my spine. And then as I bring my chin to neutral, I bring my spine to neutral as well. And just because, so you might notice I did a lot of chest and shoulders in the warm-up. I'm going to finish off with a chest and shoulder stretch here. It's because a lot of our core positions either have us holding in an internally rotated position, which means our chest and shoulders are tight, or we're using our shoulders to stabilize, or we're moving our shoulders. So that's what we're going to finish with, stretching out the chest and shoulders. And then the other reason is it's just always important to stretch this muscle group because of how often we're internally rotated. I'm switching sides here. Oh, I did have my water back here. I was just blind to it. Imagine that. Yeah, we're very internally rotated every day, whether we're sitting at a desk, we're watching TV, we're driving, our chest and shoulder muscles are tight. That's why I like to stretch it frequently. Thank you for joining me for this Tuesday morning workout. I don't have a workout coming out on Thursday, but Justin will, and it will be a beginner workout. As always, if you have questions, comments, and concerns, feel free to shoot me a message, leave a comment, and I'll address them. Somebody else will address them, and we'll make sure our videos are better in the future. Until next time, have a wonderful day.